everybody, welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Asha Boston and you may know me from Twitter or Instagram at AshaKB. You may also know my mom from a video that was posted around Christmas time where I surprised her with a gift that she's always wanted, a trip to London. And I just kind of put it on Twitter on Christmas Eve out of excitement and joy because it was starting to settle in that we were really going to London and my mom was about to experience her biggest dream, and the response was completely overwhelming and unexpected. It shocked us both. On the way to the airport on Christmas Day, we just couldn't believe the responses that we got. But there's so much more about the trip that we're excited to share and recap with you. So yeah, before I ramble on, here's my mom.
And I would like to say a pleasant good evening or good morning to everyone that's watching. And I know that you saw the video and you saw my initial reactions. My reaction was one of joy, of excitement, and also I was surprised and totally in shock. I was born in Guyana, South America, which was British Guyana, and my mom worked for an English family that lived there. Each time they would go to England and return to Guyana, I was so impressed. I would be in awe when they return, and I would sit there and I wish that one day I can go to this place. Whenever they would speak of the streets, Regent Street, Waterloo, these are streets that were in Guyana. And so that desire has been there to see a Christmas like the Christmas cards that they would bring. They were beautiful, Asha. They were with the snow on the houses. I don't know. And I had never experienced cold or snow or any of that, but it was just something that a longing desire to walk on a street in London. And I am a pretty shy person, and when I discovered, I did not realize Ashley was taping that video, and when I discovered that she did, my initial reaction was shame and scared that so many people would see me, and I really felt bad. But when she read to me, she said, "Mom, I placed the video on Twitter and so many people responded." I was embarrassed. But when she read to me some of the response, I was humbled. I was humbled to know that there are people who would see someone like me and my story and respond to it. And I'm grateful to that. And I would like to say thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, because again, it was completely unexpected.
Yes.
It was done out of joy and love in the holiday spirit. Because I actually surprised her on December the 1st. And so I had the video for a while, but a lot of my friends helped me plan the surprise, and so they were like waiting to see her reaction, waiting to see this video. And before we continue, let's bring on a friend.
Come here. Oh, look at you. This is our friend.
The 2017 Harrods Bear. So I was actually at work, and I had told one of my friends, like, okay, I want to surprise my mom with this trip. What can I do? And I'm thinking back to all the times she's verbally said, you know, I really wish I can go to London. And then she said something about Harrods one time, and I'm like, well, what if I got something from Harrods and used that to help surprise her? And so I was getting ready to order the bear from Harrods, and I called my best friend and I said, can I send this bear to your house? Because we live in a brownstone, and I live in the apartment on the top floor, and my family lives down. And so I knew that if the box came, I would see it, and she would say, what did you get from Harrods? Like, what's going on? So I sent it to my best friend's house, and she kept the box for me with the bear, and I just knew how I wanted to package it and surprise my mom. And having her visit my apartment is always a job because again I live on the top floor of a brownstone and it's a lot of walking, so I don't get that many visitors because everyone says it's a trip. It's not that bad though. But I knew that I had to like put in some serious work to get her to come and just enjoy her surprise. And so again, like this happened way in December 1st, but you know, I was just so happy around Christmas time that I was like, you know, I have to share this so my friends can see this. But I feel like I posted a video, I went to sleep, and I woke up to like what was it, like 1.9 million views. That was insane. And people just saying like the nicest things, like, we love your mom, she's so sweet, she just loves the bear. And it makes me so happy to know that everyone loves her just as much as I do.
Thank you.
And even when I gave her the trip, I just knew that it was something that I had to do because for a majority of my life, all of my life, my mom has gone out of her way to make so many things possible for me and my siblings. And so I just knew that it was my time to pay it forward with what I had. And so that's what I did, and that's how we got to the... You're welcome, Mom. So I guess we can tell you a little bit about our trip. Unfortunately, this guy, he didn't join us while we were there. But the first day, well, the flight to London was long. It wasn't too bad. It was about 6 hours.
Yeah.
That's like the time that it takes to get to Guyana, right?
Yeah, I was just happy. I was just happy. The time passed because I was going somewhere I wanted to go. I was just happy.
Yeah,
it was happy.
I was happy because she was happy. So the flight didn't seem that long. But it did kind of feel long because of the time difference that we were experiencing. So by the time we got to London, we actually just kind of went to bed. Well, first of all, we checked Twitter because people were like sending us messages like, hey, when you get here, let us know, how's Mom doing?
Thank you.
This Mom,
Thank
you know,
you.
is she enjoying the flight? Have you landed yet?
Thank you.
I was like trying to respond to all the messages, but it was just like zoom, 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 zoom. And then my phone just kept freezing. So we just kind of went to sleep and reset the next day. The next day was December 26th, that's Boxing Day. And on Boxing Day, almost everything in London was closed. So we decided to take a trip to Paris on Eurostar. And I had studied abroad in Paris while I was in college, and I had taken a trip to London, so I knew that it was like a 2-hour trip. And so we had our tickets already, but what happened when we got to the station?
When we got to the station, there was a queuing session, and you had to be there like 1 hour or more before, and so we missed that first train. But in spite of that, I was still happy. And on the way to Paris.
Yay! Yeah, it was. We like got all these snacks while we were waiting in the station in London. When we got there, I kept looking at the time because the time on the ticket was saying one thing, but I had switched my phone over to the time in London, so it was saying one thing in London time and another thing in Paris time, and I'm like, what's going on? And then I realized that there was a time difference, and so instead of having like 3 hours in Paris, we were only gonna have 1 hour in Paris because the last train left, what was it, at 9 o'clock. So we had to be back at the station by 8:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30, and we only arrived in Paris at 7. So we get to the station, and at first we're like, okay, we can just, what are we doing? I'm thinking, well, I was really disappointed. My mom was excited.
I was happy.
She was really happy to be there. She's like, it's okay, we can just take pictures outside the station, and then, you know, we can just ride the train back. And I'm like, no, we were supposed to go to Paris. We were supposed to explore.
It was beautiful.
But then we ended up going to one of the gift shops, right? And we just kind of like looked around the gift shop. I think you got some like pencils and like little things for her classroom because my mom is a teacher.
Yes.
And then around 7:30, I don't know what it was, something just said like, well, what if we left the station and we took a cab and we just rode to go to the Eiffel Tower and then we came back? And so my mom, because she was happy the entire time, she was like, yeah, let's take the cab. So we walked outside, right? And we found this cab driver. And while I was studying abroad in Paris, I learned French. So I used like the French that I knew to let her know that we would like to, you know, just take this cab ride to see a little bit of Paris, to see the Eiffel Tower, and then to come back because our train is gonna leave in like 30 minutes. And she agreed, so we hopped in the cab and we're riding all around Paris.
And there are no traffic rules.
Oh, yeah.
And she's turning here and she's turning there, and I'm like, oh God, help us. But I was happy still.
Yeah, but it was so beautiful, as Paris would be around Christmas time. And we pull up to the Eiffel Tower and...
Hi, welcome to Paris.
So excited to be here.
So excited to be here.
We missed our train, but we're making this work.
We probably are going to be left to sleep on the subway. We missed our train, but we are making this work. We took a cab because we had to see the Eiffel Tower. Couldn't do it anyway.
Not yet.
We're waiting for it to light up because we would like you to experience.
Oh, turn around, Mom.
It's lighted up. It was beautiful. It was magical. It was like a fairy tale coming through.
I think because we only had an hour, that's what made it so exciting. And then even to see Paris, we only had 30 minutes, and that's what made it really exciting, because it's like we're laughing, we're in this cab, we're seeing all of Paris, and then we hop out and we see the Eiffel Tower, and we get there right as it's about to light up, and then it lights up. So then we were just so happy and so excited. And then it lit up at 8 o'clock, but at 8 o'clock we were also supposed to be at the station checking in for the train. So we hopped back into the cab. Oh yeah, let's put our friend, he's gonna sit down. You can sit right there. We hopped back into the cab and we rushed back to train station in Paris, and we get there just in time to join the line.
Oh, this was an experience.
Oh yeah.
We got there just in time to join the line, but there were so many more people that were still outside.
Yeah.
And if they opened up another line, and we were the last two that they sent on that line, so I'm wondering what happened to all of the other people. Because once we were out of there and we started running,
we ran.
the train we jumped in and the train left.
Yeah.
So I'm still thinking, what of all those people on Boxing Night that had to take the last train out of Paris back to London?
Yeah.
Wow.
We literally caught the last train from Paris, headed to London, and I don't know what happened to us. Like, we ran to the line, and then there was like a shortcut line, and the security guard like let us into the shortcut line.
Yes.
He didn't even know us. He just kind of like let us go. I don't know. Blessings. And so we went through the whole security thing, and then we just ran to the train, and we made it back.
Yes.
And we made it back safely to London and made it right back to our hotel. We stayed at the Westbridge Hotel, which was amazing. It's in Stratford, London. Literally a 5 to 10 minute walk away from the Westfield Mall. So it's a beautiful hotel. So it was really nice to, after this like crazy afternoon, evening, to just come back to this really nice and cozy hotel room. That was definitely one of the best parts of our stay.
Shout out to the night staff.
Oh, and shout out to the night staff.
The one that made those fruit salads.
We had some really great fruit salads during the night, because we'd be out all day exploring, and then we come back and we're so hungry, like, oh, did we forget to eat? And the Westbridge staff was just amazing, and we're so thankful for that. And then the next day was the 27th. It was our day. Was that our exploration day? That was Wednesday? Wednesday, yeah. Yes. It was our exploration day where we got to meet some of our friends from Twitter. Okay, so to everyone who reached out via direct message or just kind of like added me and added comments to the thread with things that we should do, thank you so much. I am so sorry that I was not able to get back to everyone, but as you can imagine, when your tweet goes viral, like your notifications just do not stop, and like you see 20 tweets and then you literally close your phone, you pick it up 2 seconds later, you see 20 more tweets. So I couldn't respond to everybody, but the people that I did get to respond to, I think one person who reached out, her name is Jamila. Oh, Jamila Garcia. Well, you can't see it on my phone, but I'm gonna pull it up on the screen, but shout out to Jamila Garcia, who was our first friend that we met in person from Twitter. She works at the London Eye. Yes. And she allowed us to come visit her and meet her at the London Eye and take a ride on the London Eye. So we get there and we're like looking, we're like asking the staff like, hey, have you seen Jamila? Have you seen Jamila? We think she's on the loading dock, and then we finally just kind of go to the loading dock and we're like, have you seen Jamila? And they're like, yeah, she's right up on the platform. Go ahead. And so we get on the platform and we're like waiting, we're looking out for her because again, like we met her on Twitter, so we don't really know what she looks like, but we're hoping that we can like recognize her from something. And so we walk onto the platform and we're about to board the little pod that you go up, like the little carriage thing you go up on the London Eye, and we talk to the attendant, we're like, hey, is Jamila working tonight? And he's like, yeah, she is, but she just stepped away. Do you guys know her? And we're like, yeah. Yeah, we know her. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to remember what number you guys are in, and I'm going to make sure that she's back on the loading dock, so when you guys come down, you'll be able to say hi. So we get onto the little pod thing, and we're like going up this Ferris wheel, beautiful pod, scenery. London Eye. And it was incredible.
Mela, thank you so much. Thank you.
I was a little scared. I don't know. Were you scared?
No. I was happy. I was really happy. This trip, I was really happy.
We're in the pod and we're coming down. We're looking at the platform and I'm like, Mom, I think that's her. Well, my mom is like, I think that's her. And I turn around, I'm like, I think that's her too. So then we start looking a little more intensely and we like wave a little bit.
Chestnuts roasted.